discussion I want to have with you guys. Sports cards, retail cards. And I'm interested in your guys' thoughts on this. But if you're a guy, and let's just say Optic football, because that's the set that's out right now. You've been waiting all year for it. Here's the situation. You get in the store. Maybe the next guy, he might be 30 seconds behind you. He might be 2 minutes behind you. You don't really know. But you do know more guys are coming for Optic. What do? Here's what I do personally. Let's just say there's a full case on the shelf. I'm not a guy that is going to scoop the whole thing. And my buddy, he's the same way. You're going to grab, at the most, if maybe you've been saving up, you've been waiting all year for this set because it's one of the best Chrome sets. Maybe me personally, I scoop maybe 6 boxes because I put in the work. And I might not see it on the shelves again, and I got real lucky to see it on the shelf this time. I've been checking every day, putting in the work, though. If I have the money, yeah, I'm going to grab 6 boxes, maybe even 7. Maybe even hold a couple boxes for my buddy till he gets there. So that's what I do in this situation. And then you leave boxes on the shelf for the next guy, the rest of the boxes, whatever. Now, here's what some guys do, and there's different types, and these are the guys that I'm going to describe to you next, that completely suck the life and the fun out of this hobby. And these are the guys that come in the store, and they don't care if there's a guy 30 seconds behind them, 2 minutes behind them. These are the guys that come in the store, and they scoop everything. So if it's a full case, I can't remember. Let's just say Walmart there's 25 boxes maybe in a case. I could be wrong on that. I should know that offhand, but let's just say there's 25 boxes. You got these guys here that they'll scoop everything into the cart, and they'll get out fast. They'll take everything off the shelf, and they won't leave nothing for the next guy. Now, a lot of these guys are retail resellers, and they're waiting on these good sets just because they know they can mark them up double, maybe even more than double the price per box. And these guys, unfortunate, they're in every area, most areas, but they suck the fun right out of the hobby. They make it so you can't even enter the hobby, especially if you're young. Then you could also have just a guy who he might be a little greedy, you know, and maybe he does open the cart for himself, but he's going to scoop everything into the cart, and he's going to get out fast as he can.
Run away fast as you can.
Because of a little bit of greed, he didn't save anything for the next guy. So, for me, you know, that next guy that might be 30 seconds behind you, you got to leave at least a couple boxes. I mean, this guy comes in. He put in the work too, but he was just a little slower getting out of his car maybe. Let's say there's 3-4 boxes on the shelf, and this guy just wants a couple boxes. You know, that made his whole day. He grabs his couple boxes. He's so happy. He might be a guy that really enjoys this hobby, especially if he's out that early putting in the work. You made his whole day. So it's a karma thing too, as opposed to the opposite. You scoop every single box. The guy walks in right after you. It could be a minute. Who knows how long. And there's nothing on the shelf. He put in the work. He got up early that day or whatever, but now he's kind of bummed out. His day isn't starting off so good, you know. That's just a difference. That's why you gotta be considerate in this hobby, in my opinion. And there's guys who are like, oh, F the next guy, you know. And that's the problem with this whole thing. There's guys like that. You gotta just, even at the very least, you know, I don't have the means to take a whole case, but even if I did, at the very least, you gotta leave a couple boxes. I mean, for goodness sakes, even a box. But I would go further than that and say more than one box, in my opinion. But what's your guys' thoughts on that? Like, here's my situation today. I'll explain to you guys real quick. Because I put in the work as often as I can. I'm busy sometimes, so I can't every day. But I'm checking these places. I narrow down the restocks, and a lot of them are kind of on a somewhat regular schedule. But like this morning, I couldn't go out myself. You know, I would have had to take my daughter out. So I put her to bed early in hopes that, you know, I'd get her up 5:30 and get to the store and get there right at open. But, you know, when I woke her up to put her clothes on, she said, "Go sleep, Dada." I said, "Don't you want to go to Walmart and then go get some breakfast?" And she shook her head no, and she said, "Lay down, sleep, Dada." So I didn't have it in my heart to, you know, throw clothes on her and drag her out the door while she's tired. I went back to sleep, and I actually snuggled with her, and it was nice. Snuggle with my little baby girl. So that was my circumstance today, and I know that there was Optic on the shelf, because, you know, we kind of, when you're considerate of other people in this hobby, sometimes you can make, if not friends, at least acquaintances, and people that kind of, you know, you're communicating, helping each other out. And I had somebody, shout out to her. Really cool lady, by the way. But she told me there was Optic on the shelf, and somebody scooped it all. Every single box. My buddy that helps me out a lot, he actually had messaged me after and said, he's going to check. Maybe he'll see a box on the shelf. And I said, no, man, I heard, there's somebody scooped it all. So it's just unfortunate that happens. But maybe if people see this video and they didn't consider that before, maybe moving forward they would consider it, and that helps too, kind of, because then in this like card community, these guys that help each other and stuff, if you're the guy eventually that's taking everything and people kind of catch on, and you're not really they don't like that might not matter to some guys, but there's going to be a concerted effort to get to these cards before the specific person in the area that's doing that. And we always got multiples of those people that do that in the area. But so just maybe some guys will see this and they'll consider that in the future, or girls. There's women in the hobby too, but when I just say guys, I just mean in general. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I just wanted to discuss this. Something I think about a lot with this. What do you guys think? If you're in that situation, you see that stuff on the shelf, what do you do? If you see a full case of Optic, what do you do? Let's just say the next guy's coming in a minute after you and you know it. Are you taking everything, or are you just taking a few boxes? How many? You don't have to say that, but are you leaving a few? What are you going to do? And for me, I want that next guy to maybe have a smile on his face and just be happy when he's opening a box. That's really all I got to say about that. There's not much more to be said. But we all think about it when we're doing this, because we all run into the same situations, especially when you've been doing it for years. And I started this now in late 2019, so I've been seeing a lot. Anyways, until the next time, Doc Holliday, I'm out.